Let me ask you a question. So, do you want to start an OT private pay practice but feel overwhelmed with where to start? That is exactly how we felt in 2014. We knew we wanted to start our own OT private pay practice. We knew that that was the path we wanted to take, but we weren't quite sure how to make that dream a reality. All of the business side of the stuff was really intimidating. Forming a business entity, getting an EIN, opening up a bank account, all that stuff. And then, how would clients find us and book with us and pay us? And perhaps that's how you feel as well. But after having gone through this ourselves and coached other OTs how to do it, there are some really simple things you can do to not be as overwhelmed as we were. So today, I want to tell you how you can start your own OT private pay practice without that same feeling of overwhelm that we had. If you are new here, my name is Doug Vestal, and I help OTs just like you start and grow thriving private pay practices. And I make these videos from the experiences my wife and I had since we first started our OT private pay practice in New York City back in 2014. And we grew that to be very successful. And I want you to learn from the mistakes we made so that you can achieve success even faster. All right. So the most important thing you can do to not be overwhelmed by starting your own OT private pay practice is to find someone who has already done it and learn from them. So when we first started in 2014, there weren't a lot of resources for supporting OTs how to open their own private pay practice. Yes, you could figure things out on your own, and we did, but you have to ask yourself, how much is your time worth and what is speed worth to you? It really probably took us I'd say 2 years to really start to feel confident. And that was after we had our OT practice up and running and we're making mistakes. And the reason is we were trying to do everything ourselves. We tried to figure out everything ourselves. If there was a problem or a question that we had, we didn't have anybody that we could ask. So we would research it, Google it, and then experiment. And all of this, I would say, led to a lot of angst and contributed to us feeling overwhelmed because we weren't certain we were doing the right thing. So seek out a mentor who has already opened a private pay practice. Learn from that person. It literally shortcuts your success. It's like they can give you a map of where to go, what to worry about, what not to worry about, what to focus on, and you come away with a lot more confidence. Don't spend a week, researching a problem or mulling something over when in literally 2 minutes you can have the answer because you are working with someone who has already done that thing that you want to do and has already faced that problem before. Next, focus on financial security. I don't hear this talked about enough with starting your own OT private pay practice. And unless you are starting from a very large referral base, things will be slow in the beginning as you establish yourself. It's just natural. This means that your revenue is going to be low. And the key to not feeling as overwhelmed is ensuring you minimize your financial stress during this period. So you can absolutely start your OT private pay practice on the side. Keep your existing job and cut down to 4 days a week and work on your business 1 day a week. If that's not an option, take a different per diem job where you can still earn an income while you're working on growing your referrals and your client base. Building a successful OT practice is a long-term thing. If you are operating it from a place where you really absolutely need that income each month, then you are going to be incredibly stressed and overwhelmed and feel like, things are stacking up against you when in reality, it just can take time to ramp up. So make sure you are in a place financially to be able to withstand this, even if that means saving up more or just working part-time. And the last thing to help you reduce overwhelm is to realize that you're going to have periods where you don't know what to do, or where it seems like you have too many things to do that you have trouble prioritizing. So when you are starting an OT private pay practice, you are going to want to say yes to everything. Every meeting, every coffee date, every workshop, networking event is going to seem like an opportunity to you. And a lot of these things will be opportunities, but I can't tell you how much time and energy we spent in the very beginning on opportunities that went nowhere. We would say yes to everything because we never knew, right? It seemed like everything held out this hope of an opportunity that it would lead to more clients. But what happened was that over time, we realized that saying yes to something meant saying no. We were saying no to something else. Or even more frequently, that because we were saying yes to everything, this meant that we were working crazy hours trying to fit everything in. And that really exacerbated feeling overwhelmed. So over the years, we've started asking ourselves two questions to try to focus us. And here are the two questions. So number one is, will this activity benefit my existing clients? Number two, will this activity bring new clients to our practice? These are really two powerful questions. And in the beginning, it's going to be natural to feel like you don't yet have enough experience to answer these questions. And that's totally fine. But you want to get these questions in your mind and start having that discipline to ask yourself these, to get into that routine so that when you do, it becomes natural. So for instance, let's say that you are established and you're giving workshops in your community, and you have a location reach out to you and ask you to come in and give a workshop to their audience. On the face of it, it may sound good, right? You get to have your practice in front of more people. Sounds great. And you may think, if I could just get one person to come to my practice, then it will be worth it from this event. But you really have to ask yourself, does that place you're giving your workshop really have your ideal client? And if the answer is no to that, then don't do it. Now, I can hear some people are going to go like, but you never know. I may get a client from it. What if there's somebody important there? And that's true, but there are only so many workshops you can give. So ask yourself, have you really exhausted all of the places in your community where you know for a fact, right, your ideal client frequents? And have you given your community workshops to those places with those people already? Have you really exhausted that list? And if you haven't done that, then why say yes to an opportunity where there is less likelihood of success? Take that same energy and take that time that you would have spent on the other workshop and spend that on the place where you have a higher likelihood of success. You can gracefully say no. Sorry, I can't do it at this time. So then you can focus on those things that will attract your ideal client. And another great way to reduce the overwhelm you may feel when you start your OT private pay practice is to make sure that you have a marketing plan in place from the very beginning of your practice. And you can start working on that right now with the help of this video.